Hello there, so I'm just going to do a quick little overview of what I dyed in the video and how it's actually turned out, and I'm so happy with the way that these colours ended up looking together as well. So let me show you. So this is the Superwash Merino and Nylon skein, so just 75/25 standard sock weight, and this is the 4-colour skein. So you'll see I've got purple in there, which was the top part, then the lovely vermilion pink, which I was testing out, which is an absolutely gorgeous colour, and I'm so pleased that I got that dye from Jacquard to try out because it's absolutely beautiful. Then the salmon turned out a lot more rusty than I expected. I thought it would be a bit more pink than that, but it could be that because I've also got the green in there, it's making a bit more of a rust colour. And then my spring green colourway, which is a colourway that I came up with combining 2 different Jacquard acid dyes to get this lovely spring green colour. What's interesting is how much more vivid the green looks than the original skein I dyed, and that one was a non-superwash skein, so you can really tell the difference. It looks much lighter. If I grab it from my basket here, if I can find it. Yeah, there you go. So this was the non-superwash skein. So yeah, this one's a more kind of bluey, faded eucalyptus kind of colour, whereas the green in this, have a look, looks much more vivid, darker in places. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it, well, having discussed it a bit with my craft group, they think it looks very heathland-like, so I might call it heather or something to do with heathland. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And I was also dyeing a merino linen yarn, so I thought I'd show you how that turned out, because the acid dyes only work with protein fibres, which means animal fibres. So when you add a plant fibre in, it doesn't dye the same colour, or it doesn't actually take any colour, which means that how it's ended up is like this. So yeah, this is the whole skein. You can see looking absolutely lovely. But if I do a close-up, there you go, hopefully you can see that. You can see those little specks of white going throughout. Okay, going into the kind of coppery colour, into the green, back into the copper and back into the pink. So yeah, you can see all of the white specks in there. So that's how that's turned out. What I will do in a minute is just go and wind it up, maybe do a little swatch so that we can see how it looks knitted, because I'll be interested to see how that turns out. I think it would make a lovely shawl. So that's the 4-colour skeins, and then I also dyed some just the vermilion pink and the spring green. So again, you can see how vivid that green is. There you go. I absolutely love pink and green as a colour combination. This colourway is going to be called Succulent. And yeah, I like the blending as well, it looks really cool. There you go. So that turned out really lovely. This is sport weight yarn, again Superwash Merino, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I might weave with it, we'll see. If I can find something to use as a base that would go with this. If not, I'll find some other sport weight yarn to knit with it. So that's that, and then I've got a couple of mini skeins that are also the same. So yeah, the heather colourway on the bottom and the succulent one there. Okay. So this one is fingering weight and that one's DK. Just like to have a mini that looks the same in case I give away the larger skein. And then I also did some kind of leftovers of some dye stock that I was making in turquoise and brilliant blue, so I just combined those together, and that just ended up being quite a bright turquoise, I guess. It's interesting, it's quite different to this one. I'm not sure if you can tell, maybe it's not. I mean, this one is my Caribbean blue one, and that is turquoise and gunmetal. And this one is turquoise and brilliant blue, so it's lighter. But yeah, I actually popped a little bit of teal in there as well, so it has sections that are a bit more green than turquoise. There you go. So that one's come out quite nicely. And then at the end, what I did was I put leftovers of the purple, pink, I think that, and yeah, maybe a little bit of blue, and just used up the remainder of the dye, and that ended up with this lovely kind of bluey grey colour, which is really nice. Yeah, so I like to kind of just dunk in the leftovers and see what happens. And then for the leftovers of the turquoise and brilliant blue colour, I just ended up with this lovely shade, which is really nice. Again, yeah, this is fingering weight, this one's DK, so I'll probably be using this for the brim of a hat or something. Okay. And then at the end I just had a really light version of the grey and then a really light version of the turquoise as well, which goes kind of a minty green, which is lovely. But yeah, a very successful dye session. I will just go and wind up the linen blend, merino linen, and come back and show you what that looks like in the cake, and then also as a swatch. So let's see how it turns out. I love the colours. I'm so pleased with that. It's definitely going to be something that I dye more of if I feel like it. And I'm really especially happy with this lovely vermilion dye. That's the perfect pink in my opinion. But yeah, thanks so much. I'll be right back. Hello, so I am back having wound a bit of yarn and knit a little swatch, and this is what the yarn cake looks like. So yeah, you can see all of those different colours there, and I have knit a small swatch. Let me untangle it from the cake, of the merino linen blend, and that looks like this. So I did a bit of garter and then did some stockinette as well, and I really like the way that this is turning out. It's the linen merino blend is kind of a single ply, if you can see that. Yeah, single ply yarn, and because of the linen it feels incredibly light, so I think this would be great for a kind of light summer shawl just to throw over the shoulders. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the way that the colours are coming out. There you go. So looking absolutely lovely. It doesn't seem to be pooling or anything like that, So it's striped quite nicely. What I've done is just knit back and forth on 3mm needle, so quite a loose needle because I didn't have any smaller ones spare. But yeah, I think it looks really lovely with all those 4 colours, the purple, the pink, the salmon and the spring green. Whilst I was knitting up, it reminded me of something, and I feel like in the back of my mind this might have been where I got the inspiration from. So I bought a skein of Malabrigo Makita several years ago. I can't remember what the colour was, but I knit a shawl called the Pincha shawl out of it, and that is this one here. And I think you can kind of tell it's similar. These are probably lighter colours, I would say, overall, but you've got kind of the pink, the green, the touch of purple, although it's more of a muted purple, and a bit of yellow and orange in here. So I might have kind of in the back of my mind remembered this, although I think, yeah, my colours are much darker on this one. So yeah, very happy with how that's turned out. I'm glad it's not pooling or anything like that. I might end up knitting another Pincha shawl like this out of this yarn, because I think it works so well with a variegated yarn like that. And it's quite fun to knit. You start from this end, so you knit 1 feather and then you just kind of keep going. It uses short rows to get the tips, but you don't need to do anything strange in terms of picking up the stitches because it's in garter, so the wraps and turns are hidden. So yeah, highly recommend this pattern as well if you've got some variegated yarn that you don't know what to do with. This is a great one for that, and it's a free pattern. I will double check who actually designed this and let you know in the description box below. But yeah, overall super happy with my yarn dyeing from yesterday. Very happy with this colourway, and I'm likely to knit kind of a nice summery shawl out of this. Really interested to see how it looks as a whole with the linen. To be honest, it doesn't show up too much. Let's see if I can. The white specks don't show up too much in my swatch, so that's quite interesting. But I think it does give it a bit of a heathered look when you get more of the white in there. And yeah, I'm really interested to see what it looks like knit up in something bigger. So there we go. I'm going to see what I end up calling this. It might end up being called something different to Heathland, so I will let you know in another episode as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoy any of my videos, really. It really helps me, and I look forward to speaking to you next week for my regular podcast episode. Bye, have a lovely week.